Hello and welcome to the Czech Republic for round 8 of the 2022 Formula Virtual World Championship. My name is Brady Doughton and I'm joined today by Harry Westwood.
Ahoy!
Today then, the drivers will tackle 42 laps of this Brno circuit consisting of 14 turns, 6 to the left and 8 to the right for the first time in Formula Virtual history. But who will win the inaugural Czech Republic V-Prix? Let's see how they line up then. And it's Enrique Ruiz in pole position once again. Matteo Zetici, the young Italian, lines up alongside him. He's on the soft tyre, will be hoping for a good launch and to get clear early doors. Alar Kanga starts from third, a brilliant result for the Phoenix team. Lars van Schnellheid lines up alongside him on the second row. Championship leader looking to damage limitation here from fourth. Nathaniel Powers and Maximilian Thunstrom, the two Lucas drivers, line up on row 3 together. They're also on the softs. Keep an eye on them to come through early in the race. Will Taylor starts from 7th. He's pulled it back for a slightly better result here than recent races. Puccio Giordano for a strong race for Ocelot. He is alongside on row 4. While Yukimi Takahashi, another great performance from the Arrow driver, and James Vazquez round out the top 10. Vin Schneider putting his AMR up in the heady heights of 11th. John Matson lines up directly behind his teammate in 12th. He's on the hard tyres, so we'll probably be forming some trains. Keep an eye and see how that shakes out. Brock Kidd goes from 13th, he's the leader of the North Star cars. Felix Perez lines up alongside him. Nick Addison starts from 15th, some way behind his teammate yet again. Johan Halverson completes row 8 in the second of the North Stars. Thierry Zylander goes from 17th in the lead of the High Winds. He has a new teammate this weekend, will come from second. Stefan Klein lines up on row 9 with him. Alexander Zolya starts 19th, and then we have the second High Wind of Alexander McLaughlin, the Kiwi, the second ever to race in Formula Virtual. He goes from 20th. Hunter Ryan, disappointed for qualifying, down in 21st after no practice time. Timo Kinnaman lines up alongside in 22nd. Max Meyer starts from 23rd, the first of the Lopez cars. Jules Barkley directly behind his teammate in 24th. And on the back row of the grid we have Sergio Alvarez, who had issues in qualifying, and Adrian Simon, who crashed early on and didn't set the time. So as we go down to the grid then, it's Enrique Ruiz in pole position on the left. Matteo Zetici lines up alongside him on the front row. It's a long hold. The lights go out now and we're racing in the Czech Republic then. It's a great start from Ruiz from pole position. Off like a scolded cat as Zetici though is going with him, looking to the outside of turn 1, but nowhere near on those soft tyres. The two of them well clear. Alar Kanga slots into third then ahead of Lars van Schnellheid. There was someone, I think it was one of the Ocelots, on the grass on the run into turn 1. Possibly Puccio Giordano then, but it's Lars van Schnellheid leading from Zetici. Zetici looks to the inside of the Brazilian, but can't get it done. As behind, I think that was Nathaniel Powers as well, trying to take a look at Lars van Schnellheid.
Yeah, so a relatively safe start there from Zetici. He just seemed to not quite pull away as well in the second phase there compared to Ruiz, who really got some excellent drive off of his grid slot. So Brazilian will be happy with that, and now he will look to just hold Zetici up as long as he can.
He absolutely will, as there we see slightly wide from Maximilian Thunstrom, and Will Taylor takes advantage up the inside and through he goes, and ahead of them Powers has done Lars van Schnellheid as well then. So the soft tyres working for Nathaniel Powers here early doors, not for his teammate however.
Yeah, and speaking of tyres working well, we've got Zylander who's moved his way all the way to 13th place just in this first lap, so stellar effort there from the Belgian. Especially
considering he's on the hards, I believe.
Oh, if he is, then that's an extra dose of impressive.
Yeah, he is. 4 places gained then for Thierry Zylander on the hard tyre. What a mega start from the Belgium, and could put him in a very, very good position. What it could also do is open up a massive gap in the midfield, you'd imagine, for some of these runners on the soft and medium, so we'll keep an eye on how that develops. But as they complete one lap then, head on to the second, it's Ruiz still leading. Matteo Zetici going with him on those soft tyres, but really, he's got to get that move done and start opening a gap.
Yeah, the sooner the better, and the longer he leaves it, the more difficult it's going to get as well. Obviously, it's not exactly easy to overtake here. It's a pretty rear limited track as you try and get the power down on some of these traction zones. But Zetici is going to really be regretting this if he isn't able to make that move quickly.
Yeah, he certainly will. He looks as though he's got the pace at the moment. He's sticking with Enrique Ruiz fairly comfortably, but then having said that, no one really seems to be dropping away. Kanga, Powers, Lars van Schnellheid, they're all still, I mean, pretty much in this. I mean, admittedly, we're only on lap 2, but
oh, I thought you meant just across the field, like. But yeah, no. even Takahashi, you could really say, is sort of tacking himself onto the back of this.
Well, I mean, if we're going to say that, everyone down to Helmsley is still in the train.
Well, yeah, then it's a field long train there.
It's a 14-car battle for the lead.
Yeah, and then he's a little cheeky second off of Matson, isn't he? But he's holding that second. But yeah, as over the hill now, this is a lovely little section there, flowing left and right into the start-finish straight there. Obviously, it's a brand new circuit as well for the guys, so they've got a lot of new challenges that they face this weekend, and it's been interesting seeing some of them take to the new challenge and some of them kind of falter a little bit.
What? Was that 28.4?
I can't read.
Yeah, it was. Wow, that's an exceptional lap from Enrique Ruiz then. That's half a second quicker than his pole lap.
That's maybe the track's just really rubbered in.
Yeah, I was going to say we must have considerably different conditions today to what we were running yesterday in qualifying. But yeah, we've got a rapid pace here at the moment then, so this is going to be a very fast-paced race, you'd imagine. Is just looking down towards the back, Adrian Simon, who obviously had that off in qualifying yesterday, ended up not setting a lap time. He's only made up 2 positions thus far. He'd have probably hoped to gain a little bit more off the start.
Well, it's actually worse than that, Bradley, because he had made his way up to at least 23rd, I saw. So he's actually gone backwards since then. So really, really rough opening for the Frenchman. Not to forget, what, race winner 2 races ago? Look at
how the mighty have fallen.
Indeed, I know he's mired down in traffic. There he is, sandwiched between 2 westwards, which Rob would be pleased with, but Simon won't.
Yeah, as we jump on board with Alexander McLaughlin then, the Kiwi, the first Kiwi to race in Formula Virtual since I think Jared Lindsay back in 2013 or 14.
Wow,
might have been 14.
Someone didn't read the article that Ahmed put out then, did they? Unbelievable.
No, some of us didn't.
Unbelievable behaviour.
Was it 2014?
I don't know, I didn't read the article.
Well, that's alright, because Ahmed doesn't listen to the commentary, so he'll never know.
Oh yeah, because he can't, can he? Because he's not allowed.
But yeah, McLaughlin in his first ever Formula Virtual race, and the defending
Virtual champion is Simon goes for a move up the inside of Kinnaman, but Kinnaman holds it around the outside. Okay.
Yeah, brilliant driving there from the script
there. Yeah, fantastic defence there, and in a car that really should be completely swamped by them, after sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Kinnaman holds him off then.
So tread on thin ice.
Simon will have to try that one again. But yeah, McLaughlin, the defending E-Virtual champion, he won that series last year. Yeah, is the first Kiwi to race since it was Lindsay in 2014. It was.
There we go. We got you some time to find that stat there. How impressive is this? These guys are still going with. I mean, Takahashi is now dropping off the bat, but that top 7, man, that is a train.
Is it? It is.
And it's not.
Sorry,
it's not like.
I was looking up information on McLaughlin.
Oh, you keep doing that. I was just going to say, it's not even like Ruiz is particularly going slowly either. So it's not a case of Ruiz is lapping poorly. It's just that everybody's doing a really stellar job so far. And at the moment, it could be anyone's race. Although the longer that the soft-tire runners sit behind the mediums, the worse it's going to get for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to be making moves, but it's looking as though it's maybe going to prove to be a little bit tricky to overtake today.
Yeah.
But then, I suppose in fairness, actually, we see this in the opening stint of races, don't we?
Yeah, when there's a bit less of a tyre differential than there will be later on, and things like that, and different car differentials. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how that looks when we get sort of some stops in.
It certainly will. But it's Ruiz still leading then from Matteo Zadici at the moment, but they're not really breaking away. Kanga still sat in 3rd ahead of Powers and Classman Schnellheid, and in fact all of them there are pretty much the top 7 still running fairly nose to tail, and only just now a gap opening between Thunder and Yukimi Takahashi, the Japanese driver, in 8th place once again at the moment then, serving to be best of the rest behind the Mattershort, Downton, Phoenix and Lucas cars, as he was last time out in Germany.
Yeah, definitely. Also fun to note is that in the top 4 we have 4 different teams. That's I always love seeing stuff like that. And it's not even looking like the two behind the leaders are a million miles an hour slower, if that makes sense. You know, they're not exactly dropping off. Kanga's really sticking with the pace of Ruiz, so that's some impressive stuff. And we could be in for a bit of a surprise here if this keeps going this way. Obviously, Kanga narrowly missing out on a podium last time, I think. Well, no, he ended up on the podium, did he?
Yeah, I think he did score a podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, because it was Phoenix's second ever podium.
It was, and hey, not going to curse it, but today could be a good day to make it, what, 3 in a row? 3 out of 5. It would be 3 in a row, what?
No, they've...
No. Oh, I thought you were saying it would be. I was like, I don't think it would. They got it back in. But anyway,
yeah.
Exciting times down at Phoenix.
However, you've just said it, so sorry, Alex, when both your cars go up in smoke.
Alex prefers it when he doesn't finish on the podium, so I'm doing him a favour. If you knew him at all, Bradley.
Well, yeah, but... As we got on board.
Big sideways moment.
Yeah, Brock hit a big snap of oversteer there then. But in 11th, once again, the American outperforming teammate Johan Halvorsen. That's very much been a theme of the season so far.
Yeah, definitely. Kid he's really impressed me this year. I think a lot of people rated him before, but now it's just look at how squirrely, like, I'll get onto sort of the behaviour of the car around the circuit when we have like a proper lull, but yeah, look, he's really having to sort of wrestle that car around the circuit, even through that turn 1 there. The ridge just wants to come around.
Yeah, very much so. It's not looking the easiest of rides at the moment, is it, for the American drivers? There we see Felix Perez sat behind Johan Halvorsen. A bit of a train developing here behind the Dane. Halvorsen obviously on that hard compounded tyre. So probably not surprising. I suppose what is surprising is the fact that Zylander, in a high wind, also on the hard tyre, is significantly further up the road.
Yeah, I think Zylander has sort of been able to switch himself back on a little bit here, and he's not really looking close to Schneider. He's got Madsen for company, but if Madsen gets through, then he seems to have the pace over Halvorsen, to be honest. At the moment, touch wood and all that, crossing fingers and toes.
He certainly does indeed. While we have, you know, drivers sort of not really able to do an awful lot in this opening stint, is it worth noting now and discussing the news that has occurred from between the last round in Germany and here?
Yes, I think that is a shout. So, I mean, I think it's best if you do the honours. You've been the closest competitor for many a year.
Yeah, so for those of you who have missed the announcements...
somehow.
Yeah, wherever you've been, under a rock.
In Iraq.
It was unfortunately confirmed last weekend that Mathershaw, as a team, would be departing Formula Virtual at the end of this season. The squad who have been around since the start, they finished in the top 3 in the Constructors' Championship every season, have never failed to win a race in a year, and that is something that will absolutely continue, as will their top 3. I mean, crikey, something would have to seriously fall apart for that to not be the case this season. I just don't see that happening. So those records are going to stand, and that's a mega accomplishment. But yeah, Mathershaw will be leaving the sport, and I mean, honestly, I don't really have any words. Rob has been a massive part of this.
I've got 2.
For me on a for me on a personal level, for Downton as a team, the technical partnership that we've had with Mathershaw has been second to none, and absolutely pushed both teams on while we've been, you know, the closest of rivals. That's never come in the way, and it's going to be a very different place without him.
Yeah, I don't really know what to add to that. I mean, you know, Rob supplied us with our engine when we came back in 2020, when, if I'm being honest, we didn't, you know, he was happy enough to let us join the project of Porsche, which is obviously very close to his heart at a time where really you wouldn't have put money on us, but he's always been like that. He's always been willing to lend a hand and have a chat, whether it's about Formula Virtual or about sort of things in real life. And he's just a sort of a down-to-earth kind of guy. And while we'll still see him around the paddock, I'm sure we can't boot him out of the Formula Virtual world that easily.
Not a chance.
It's
in fact, I think he'll be appearing here more often.
What, in this circuit?
No, in commentary.
Yeah, I hope so. It'd be good to have him back in the box, if you will. He's obviously been no stranger to commentary, and yeah, just one of those people that you're very glad to have met through Formula Virtual. And yeah, nothing really to add to that other than it's a big shame, but at the same time, it's not a shame. I think he's doing what he wants. He's living on his terms when he wants to. You know, not all teams can say that they decided to hold their heads high when they left, and Rob can count himself among those that can.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think that's the one positive out of this, is that, as you say, is, you know, he's departing on his terms at his time when he chose. But yeah, I mean, there'll be an article. You might have already seen it.
Can't read, so I haven't.
But and I'll say more than I can possibly put into words here. But I never imagined, when this all started in 2013, that I'd form some of the friendships that I have with people. And you know, at the time, Rob was miles away. He now lives 15 minutes down the road. And we see one another relatively frequently, and that will absolutely continue.
For pizza, we don't know.
And we'll get to that later. And
that's a later problem.
I never expected to have that from something like this. And I'm very glad that relationship will continue off track. Even if he's not going to still be around with a racing team.
Yeah, and I think it's also good, you know, he'll be sticking around in other aspects of racing, you know, in GTV, he'll be around. Not sure yet if it's confirmed if he'll be returning for the virtual 24 hours, but I know he enjoys it, and even if someone else takes up the mantle of that, he'll definitely want to be involved. I think, you know, he likes being involved with racing. He does it in real life as well as on here, so it really is close to his heart. He enjoys all kinds of racing: IndyCar, NASCAR, F1. I think he watches a bit of rallying. Maybe he loves his WEC. He loves his not supercars. What is it? GT cars, I guess. GT racing.
Yeah.
He loves all of it. He's just a genuine racing fan at his very core, and I think that's what's made his impact to the paddock so special.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we won't be getting rid of him. There's absolutely no chance of that.
You'll still see him, you know, pint of Stella in his hand, you know, wife beater on, classic Rob. But
and I think,
but
we also have to, you know, it's as I think he put, it's going to be, you know, really sad to see such an outstanding team leave. But actually, everyone should be thankful. 2 less cars to beat.
Absolutely, and you know, I think it's very in character for Rob to sort of have that approach there of, yeah, you know, like might feel not awesome at the moment, but you know, you're going to be thanking me come testing next year when there's one less team to be sort of trying to outdevelop.
Absolutely.
Because you can't really. Your only chance of beating Rob is to come with a car that's better than his at the very start. Otherwise, I don't think really you're gonna do much with it. But anyway, you know, Rob, you know, it's been nice having him around, and it'll be nice to still have him around. But maybe I'm really hoping that I mean, speaking from personal experience, I know it's not quite the same. But I know that when I took a step back for a couple of years, I really enjoyed just being sort of on the spectator side of things. And I have a feeling he might fall in love with Formula Virtual all over again in a different way this time. Able to just watch without the pressures of running a team and winning, and he can sort of focus a bit more on if he wants to get involved, the FVA side of things or the press side of things. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does next after this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we sum it up by sort of saying Mathishaw are leaving, but Rob very much is not.
Yeah, definitely.
And also,
Go on.
what we probably need to confirm here is that while Mathishaw as a team are departing, obviously, you know, Mathishaw as the outfit have run that team for 10 years through all of their guises, through being Mathishaw, through being Liverpool, through being DS, through their, you know, currently as they are with Porsche. Although Mathishaw are leaving, Porsche aren't necessarily, which I think is quite crucial.
Not really a key picture on that, is there?
No, we'll obviously get more information about that, as we will, I'm sure, what the story is with the drivers, because Mathishaw departing leaves two massive hitters in Formula Virtual, Enrique Ruiz and Adrian Simon, potentially without seats.
Look, Bradley, Simon, I think...
If Simon doesn't walk into the sunset with Mathishaw, something is fundamentally wrong, because that just seeing him anywhere else just wouldn't be right.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's been with this team from the very offset.
Yep.
He won his world title with them. He was there when they both won their both titles. Like, it's... Wait, did Simon win 2 titles?
Just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah. But he won a title.
Yeah,
He's a world champion with this team.
Yeah, no, I couldn't remember if he won 2 drivers' titles or 1. But the fact remains, as you say, he's a world champion with this team. And
every race, he's the only driver that's done every race with the same team.
That's an insane record, and it's probably almost definitely going to be broken, really. Unless whoever takes over this Porsche outfit and partners up with them takes him on. Even then, it's not really the same team.
Well, it's not the same. No, it won't be the same team. The team as they are will depart.
It's yeah, it's kind of
exciting times.
Simon, but
exciting times. Yes, it's sad we've got, you know, Mathishaw as team leader. As we said, covered, Rob will stay around. And what this means is that there's potential here for some, you know, there are some spaces in Formula Virtual for the first time in a while, and we're going to get some new blood. We're going to get some new teams come in. Not only Mathishaw, but Franklin also confirmed that they'd be departing at the end of the season. Obviously, we're already not seeing them compete. They've essentially already gone. But that's 2 spots then that open up, and that's
only that's the first 2 as well. Like, I don't want to sort of be that guy, but obviously there was a very public sort of statement of stressing your commitment to the sport, making sure you were aligned with the sort of the attitude and the goals going forward of the sport and its owner, Nick Morley. And I got to wonder how many people might look in the mirror and say, you know what, not for me. Don't forget, a lot of these people, you know, me, you, the likes of Jamie and Rob, obviously, that are leaving, we started this when we were teenagers, and some people might not have the time or the effort to put in anymore. We might see even more spots open up. But already 2 spots is really exciting. I know there's a few drivers in the running, not drivers, people, team principals, teams. There's been quite a few applications coming in there. So obviously, when there is an update on that, then that will be announced. But all I can say is whoever gets the spots, if they do get them, don't forget Nick is very much a fan of the premise. If he'd rather have 14 good teams than, you know, 15
and one for the sake of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, snap there from Ruiz in the lead.
Yeah, you can definitely see these tyres going off. Seeing a few of these guys getting it very sideways now, as these tyres are starting to overheat now. They're starting to be overworked. We're probably looking at about the pit window here, actually.
Yeah, so I was just going to say,
the soft tyres.
We'll finish off that chat in just a second. I just want to say we're at lap 15 now. So we are into the point of it being a
Here comes
two-stop
the
race. In
Zetici
fact,
into the
yeah,
pits.
sorry, yeah, indeed. There we have then the first of the runners in, and it's the soft tyres. Matteo Zetici, Nathaniel Powers, and Maximilian Thunstrom then, as you expected, all dive into the pits at the end of lap 15. So that's a solid two-stop strategy, and actually probably quite
a good
well-timed two-stop strategy compared to sort of what we see previously. 3.5 second stop then from Downton, 3.6 from Lucas for Powers, and it's 19.9 seconds in the pit lane. So we're looking, okay, 20.6 for Powers, 21 for Thunstrom. So we're looking at about, let's say 20 seconds on average then.
I'm going to do the maths and you're going to keep talking.
Right, there we go. So about 20 and 20.5 seconds on a pit delta as Matteo Zetici rejoins in 9th position then. Didn't make any progress. None of these soft-tired runners really made any progress in the opening stint. Zetici has rejoined in 9th behind Finn Schneider. So he'll be looking to obviously clear the Swiss driver.
We're looking
quickly,
at about an 18 and a half-ish to 20 second pit delta, I'd say. So not exactly a long one, but definitely not a short pit delta either, especially when overtaking is at such a premium. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Probably a slow stop, you're looking at maybe 21 seconds tops, and a good stop, you're looking at about 18.
Absolutely. So here we see on board with Zetici then. He has already caught Finn Schneider. We'll be looking to make this move early doors. Nathaniel Powers already closing that gap. It was about 2 seconds when they came out the pits. That is the time that Zetici's losing. It's already down under a second, so he needs to get on with this.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a real test now with that tyre differential. Where
behind up front, that was Kid wide. Oh, that's why Kid pits then. So Kid obviously on the soft tyres as well. Zetici up the inside of Finn Schneider out of turn 1. Nathaniel Powers right in his wheel tracks. Zetici doesn't quite make it though. Schneider holds it around the outside and remains P7.
Yeah, up the inside of that corner is never going to work. That curb will unsettle the car, and then if you're on the outside...
Powers down the inside of Zetici, taking advantage. He's done Zetici. Is he going to do Schneider as well? No, he's not. But he does, crucially, get past Matteo Zetici then.
Yeah, obviously the veteran passing his replacement there in slightly worse machinery. That's a very impressive effort from Powers and really showing his experience there. He knew that... Zetici had slightly overworked his tyres trying to go for that move in turn 1. Oh, look how wide he is, yeah.
Yeah, very skatey there for Zetici. Nearly lost that one, but yeah, that very much seemed like Powers making a point, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. A case of you might be in my seat, but I still run the show.
Absolutely, as we see these two then still stalking Finn Schneider as we've got a yellow flag, yeah.
Both the Lopez's dropped back. There's that one pitted, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, Alvarez is somewhere off the back of the pack, isn't he? But I think he's just stopped for the soft tyre. Thunstrom, pit stop didn't work out too well for Thunstrom. He was slightly long in the stop itself, and he's got Zylander, Matson and Takahashi between himself.
He's lost the place to Takahashi.
Oh, he has?
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, Takahashi was also on the softs, wasn't he?
Yeah, so that's a blow for Thunstrom.
Oh,
He'll be
wow.
looking to make up for that. Zylander running in the points, you know, cheeky.
It's not going
to work.
No.
Powers there. Notice he got out of there a lot earlier than Zetici did there. Oh, that'll be why.
Takahashi into the pits with a broken front wing then. And Thunstrom in as well. So it really does go from bad to worse for the Swede. Well, yeah.
Oh no, that's a shame.
Let's put two and two together, and I think we'll probably come up with 4. Yeah, both in without front wings then. I'm sure we'll get a replay before long.
I feel like this is more a case of put Dumb and Dumber together and you'll end up with...
an accident?
Yeah, sure, that's what I was going to say.
Let's stick with that version.
Yeah, really puts a downer on the mood.
That's really crashed both of their races, hasn't it? Takahashi and Thunstrom rejoin in 25th and 26th, respectively.
Yeah.
And they're still going to have to do 2 stops. 1 more stop, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually, they are. That's really tragic. Just gotta wonder... Well, hopefully we'll get a replay of what happened, but yeah. Notice how, Zetici made it back past Powers. We must have missed that.
Yay!
Cheeky boy, cheeky boy, cheeky boy.
I wonder if Powers tried the move that Schneider did.
I know he did stick it up the inside of turn 1, but it was sort of like a no dice situation. I thought he got away with it because he got out early, but here you go.
I meant further on around the lap.
Oh, I don't know that.
Well, no, nor do I. We didn't see it.
Oh,
That's why I said I wonder.
Stop being this way.
Well, what? Right.
Here we go. Zatici's looking really good here for a possible move. Just checks out the inside. Oh, he's very late though. I don't think he's going to make it. He's had to back out again.
Yeah, it's just not working, is it? It's proving exceptionally difficult to make an overtake here. In fact, I'm not actually sure we've seen one since lap 2.
Powers overtook Zatici a couple of laps ago.
Okay, yeah, fair point. We've not seen an overtake that hasn't been as a result of one driver making a mistake. As here we go, on board with Thunstrom then. So let's see what happened here. Thunstrom went wide and lost it, and then
and then drove into. That's not Takahashi's fault, really. Nothing he could do.
No, I mean he just kind of was there and stopped because there was a car in front of him, and Thunstrom went eek.
I will drive into you and ruin your day.
Yeah, that's
yeah, dangerous there just now from Zatici, who'd skated kind of wide, and Powers, obviously with a bit of a wise old head on him, decided to sort of not quite poke his nose in there, because Zatici just swooped straight back down on that apex. Not something that I would make a habit of if you want to keep racing.
Well, no, absolutely. And that's just on that. You know, you say Zatici skated a little bit wide. He absolutely did. Thunstrom skated wide, and we've seen the result of that.
Yeah,
you know, Powers very smart to back out of that one, definitely.
Yeah, that's just the experience there, showing age before beauty and all that.
Yeah, it seems quite slippy off the racing line here as Zatici looks to the inside of Finn Schneider once again, but it's just not happening here. Even those on the soft tyres cannot make an overtake at the moment.
No, and it's not always Takahashi's that's the fastest lap. That's nice. That'll be a little bonus there for the Arrow team.
I think that just goes to show these soft tyres do have some considerable pace. You know, Takahashi and Thunstrom already on the back of Sergio Alvarez. Admittedly, the Lopez's are some way off the pace, but they were a good few seconds back. I was going to say Thunstrom slightly ruined Takahashi's race there. Looking at how this soft tyre's performing, I'm not sure he has. I'm not sure they're really going to get anything from this. Those drivers on the soft tyres.
Unfortunately, I do think you might be right there. They are fast, as you say. They are definitely a fast tyre, but I mean, I don't think, like for example, Zatici or Powers, I think they've actually lost time to the leaders. They have.
Well, they will have done. Yeah, because they've been stuck behind Schneider, who's absolutely, not digging at either Schneider or AMR here, but he's absolutely slower than Ruiz.
Again, I dare you. Oh, Powers might go through here. Here we go. Zatici, sorry, it's a little out of shape there, coming out turn 1. I do like turn 1 of this track. There are some corners on this track which are really nice. The final 2 corners, turn 1. Here we go.
Oh, Powers down the inside.
I don't think he's going to make it though. He's had to get out of that one.
Yeah, he tried the move that Zatici's tried on Schneider the last few laps.
Yeah, needs to be a bit more decisive. He managed it that first time round, but it's really, really hard to make that move stick, especially because if you're stuck on the inside of turn 3, that becomes the outside for turn 4, and you can really get washed out wide onto the dirty part of the track. Can't get. Oh wow, he's really out wide there. Powers just overworking the tyres a bit there.
He's trying everything now, isn't he, Nathaniel Powers, in an attempt to make this move. Neither of them. Oh, Zatici's wide and just catches the back end then, but that'll have caught his attention for sure. But yeah, I sense the pair of them here getting a little bit frustrated now.
Yes, Powers again goes way off the racing line, just looking for a different way through there. Just trying everything he's got, maybe just trying to loom in the mirrors of Zatici and force a mistake from the rookie. The thing is, this track, even the sort of quote-unquote heavy braking zones, you go into it quite a lick, really. I mean, look at how fast he's going into that. This is considered a heavy braking zone on the track compared to the other corners, and yet you just rotate the car nicely around that and set it up for a good drive out onto the straight. It's a good circuit. It's nice to drive if somewhat tricky, and you do have to have your wits about you, but in terms of actual racing, it doesn't appear to be too well suited to our sport.
No, absolutely. I was going to say, we just caught a glimpse of Thierry Zylander now running in 10th position. I've just noticed Zylander's actually on the mediums. The information that we were fed that he was on the hard tyres was incorrect, which explains how he's managed to pull away from Halverson. It's not just by some miracle.
That would have been even more impressive, but I do still think it's fairly impressive.
Absolutely.
I will give him that one.
Also, Kanga there in second place was supposedly on the softs, but is definitely not because he'd have pitted by now. Also, the tyres is on a very clearly yellow.
Here we go, this will be interesting. So,
Will it?
Maya, who clearly dropped back with a mistake. Alvarez on fresh softs with Takahashi and Thunstrom, and even fresher soft behind them.
You say may have dropped back with a mistake, but he doesn't have the best of pace. He's on the medium and he's 5 seconds behind Barkley. I think that's about where him and the team are. As we've got a yellow in sector 2, Thunstrom looks to the inside of Takahashi. I think it's Brock Kidd dropping down the order.
No,
it is, yeah, there we go. You see it in the background. Kidd is off in the gravel trap and in the wall, and he has a wheel off the car. So Brock Kidd has had some kind of accident there then.
Yeah, and based on what we've seen, I don't like the look of that Ford engine smoking away. Based on what we've seen this season, I really think they should get a fire extinguisher in here.
Yeah, that looks very heavily damaged and very firmly lodged in the tyre wall, doesn't it? It looks like Kidd's gone in there at a hell of a speed.
Yeah, obviously, you know, when you go in backwards...
Oh, I was up the inside.
Doesn't make it. I don't know why I said it like that.
Oh, but Satici looks at the inside of Schneider, just has a nose up the inside and had to back out of that at the last moment. Otherwise, he'd have had it chopped off.
Yeah, luckily for him as well, the run down this hill is not exactly a long enough straight to take advantage of something like that. And the right hand, again, just like having to catch the slide is powers.
Well, I think he's trying something different there. He's trying to go wide in the corner, hoping for a better exit. Just trying something different to make a move here, because it's just not happening.
Nah, he may well be, but I'll tell you what, Bradley, if you don't make it work quickly, sliding like that will just eat your tyres up for breakfast, lunch and dinner. You'll just overheat them, rip the surface off.
Sorry, the medium tyred runners are in then. Ruiz pits from the lead. Kanga and Klaas van Snelwerd in from second. That might be a slight hold from Ruiz. Kanga in just in front of him. Nope, he's clean away then.
Kanga, though.
It's
yeah, there's a big hold for Kanga, so I wonder if he's going to lose the plate as we've got another yellow flag.
A 3.4. Kanga had the second quick stop. No, they're out. All three of them solidly. Ruiz out into the lead. Kanga out in second. Where is Klaas van Snelwerd going to... He's behind Giordano and Vasquez. That's not worked out for the Dutchman at all.
Oh dear, these two, this is... I mean, Giordano thinks on mediums, isn't he?
Yeah, Giordano's on mediums, and I think... Yeah, Vasquez is as well. So they'll pit at the end of this lap. But that is a lap he's going to spend behind Giordano and Vasquez on wearing mediums. Will Taylor was right with him.
Yeah, to be fair, actually, I hadn't even thought of that. Will Taylor might well be able to make the jump if he can put a good lap together.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that then. Taylor could overcut here. But Klaas van Snelwerd, did you see him? He's already tucked up under the rear wing of James Vasquez, but can't get the move done, as we've seen.
This could be disastrous for Van Snelheid's race here.
He was right behind Kanga, who is now some 3.5 seconds up the road.
He's driving like he's lost his head as well. That's not... He's just sideways through every corner. He's really desperate to make that move. Oh, look at that. Even on fresh tyres, he's fighting so hard. He's just overdriving the... Vasquez is on, like, half race old tyres. I'll allow that. I think... Oh, look how much slower he's got to go.
Taylor dies in pits. Here we go. This is the onboard with Brock Kidd. So, weird, isn't it? No, he caught it, but then it went the wrong way, and... that's how he's ended up.
Ran out of talent. How he didn't collect either of the Westwoods or the Porsche Mattershall there.
It was a good effort not to collect anyone. Here comes Taylor out of the pits, and Giordano hasn't gone in.
Really.
Giordano is ahead of him, but Taylor has overcut and jumped Klaas van Snelwerd.
Oh, that's going to be brutal. By like a good second, I think, nearly. Oh no, it's only a half second, but still, that's an impressive effort there from the Brit. And suddenly, this race has just flipped the script. And well, I say flipped the script, throwing the script in the bin, Bradley.
Hasn't it just, as Vasquez does pit then, Puccio Giordano does another lap on these medium tyres. I don't know what he's playing at here, but yeah, Giordano carrying on. What this means now then, is that as things stand, Phoenix, as Taylor goes wide trying to get past Giordano, he needs to not throw this away. If he just keeps his racing line, Klaas will not be able to overtake. Dutchman looks to the inside, Taylor cuts it off, and there's nothing that Klaas van Snelwerd can do. If he just keeps his racing line, it will have this. As it stands, Phoenix are in a double podium position.
Steady on, Bradley. You wouldn't want to curse them.
you've already
As,
done that. Oh,
Did you
Taylor
guys
round the
make it
outside and
move
put you
back? He's gonna get it
Giordano.
done.
Surely
Oh.
not. That's an exceptional move.
That's naughty. He set that up nicely. He might. Yeah, he's got away with that.
He has Klaas
Oh,
spun. Klaas van Snelheid spins then, trying to follow Will Taylor through past Puccio Giordano, who's still to pit. Klaas van Snelheid has thrown it away. The frustrations have got the better of him.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned in my article previously, earlier in the week there, with this track analysis, it's so easy to do. You run out wide there, also it's a little bit off camber, so you are really struggling for grip, especially where it gets dirty, covered in marbles and dust. So a really, really silly mistake there from Klaas van Snelheid, and that's definitely going to cost him a podium today.
As Giordano pits then, probably with a smirk on his face, you'd imagine, although it's not really worked for him, to be fair, because he's pitted way later but come out well behind James Vazquez, who he was in front of, and he nearly got jumped by Schneider. That's how poor his pace was, but there we go. So it's on board. You see up ahead, Taylor's gone around Giordano, and Klaas van Snelheid just too wide off the racing line into the marbles. Very lucky not to collect his former teammate Nathaniel Powers there as he tried to rejoin, but yeah, he has done. He's lost 2 positions. Both Zetici and Powers will pit again, however, so in fairness, he might not really have lost anything position-wise.
Yeah, to be fair, just going back to that Klaas van Snelheid incident, yeah, just really easy to do, but he should have known when he went through the first part of that chicane that those tyres were going to let go if he has too much of them. But he was just so desperate. I think he could see he could see Taylor slipping away a little bit, and it's rare to see a mistake like that from Klaas these days.
It is indeed, as we see a brief yellow in sector 2. Not sure what's going on. Takahashi's at the back again, but Thunstrom's up in 16th. What's happened there?
Takahashi had to pit. I don't know why. But he needed a new front wing, but I don't know what caused the loss of front wing.
Well, a bad race gets worse. Arrow are going to be running out of front wings at this rate.
Yeah, they can always use one of mine.
As
Not much good, but.
Also, I just noticed Zylander pitted then, obviously on his medium tyres, and has rejoined just behind his teammate Alexander McLaughlin. McLaughlin, who definitely is on the hard tyre.
Oh no.
So that's probably going to be quite painful for Zylander. But actually, looking ahead of him, Kleon's on the hard, Perez is on the hards, Halverson's on the hards as well. So yeah, I mean, thankfully, I suppose at least for Zylander, he doesn't have to pit again. But I don't think he's going to make any progress forwards.
No, I do think that obviously we've only got these soft-tired runners left to pit, and after that it may well end up being status quo. I really don't think it's overtaking is an option here today.
No, it certainly doesn't seem like it. And in fact, I believe that overtake we saw Taylor do on Giordano is the only overtake outside of the first 2 laps that hasn't come as a result of the driver in front making a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you would define the pass from Powers on Zetici.
Well, I think that came, you know, Zetici was trying to overtake Schneider, didn't quite, you know, do it as he should, had to back out, and that's what gave Powers the opportunity. And I'd imagine it was very similar when they reversed positions.
Yeah, quite possibly, quite possibly.
Whereas Taylor on Giordano, it was nothing Giordano, you know, he wasn't trying to attack anyone. He didn't slide wide or anything. That was just purely Taylor doing better.
Yeah, I don't really know how he managed to do that, to be fair, Taylor, but it's been crucial for his race.
No, but maybe we should get him to sit all the other drivers down and teach them.
Well, I mean, the likes of Kinnaman don't need teaching, or Campos. He's not even in the grid anymore. What am I talking about?
Maybe not, but I don't see Kinnaman overtaking anyone this race, so...
Kinnaman overtook Simon early on in the race. So
yeah, but that was within the first 2 laps. So we kind of got to discount that.
But he did it. Yeah, but when you consider the car he's in, Breathley, if you thought about the car...
Where is Simon? He's 20th. Oh.
He's moved up a little.
What tyres is Simon on? The mediums. So he won't pit again.
They look best on Rob's car.
Yeah, this is true. He won't pit again, but he's, yeah. When even a Mathershaw can't come through the field from the back, you know this isn't
that's
a
when
great
you know
track for
something's
overtaking.
wrong. It is nice to see sort of a variety in circuit selection, but I've got to say this one has ended up. I mean,
Can I just raise
I
the
like-
point? There was more overtaking at Jerez.
There actually was as well, you're right. And I used to whinny and whine about that.
Yeah, you did a lot.
Yeah, no, alright.
Especially
Okay, here
off
we go.
camera. Oh my god.
Mostly off camera. I would just sort of, I'd turn up in a big old, I'd try and refuse to do it, then I'd turn up in a big old huff when I had to anyway. Up the inside Vasquez. Big up the Vasquez, man.
Yeah, Vasquez.
So I wonder then, no, you go first.
I was just going to say, right with his teammate John Matson now then. Vasquez on fresh mediums, Matson on hard tyres. He definitely won't be making a pit stop, but I don't think Vasquez is going to go through. This is going to be a very painful race where he's going to spend the remainder sat staring at his teammate's rear wing.
Yeah, and this is going to be an enormous blow in the battle for third there for Ingram, and it's going to be all their own undoing.
It will. I mean, this is massive for Phoenix as it stands, isn't it? They're going to pick up.
Oh yeah.
You know, as it stands, they look to pick up a double podium position. Powers is going to pit from 5th.
Whoa.
He's still got a stop to make. Let's not forget. So Ingram are going to gain from that. They're going to gain on Lucas, but they're going to lose out
And Satici
massively
as well.
to. Sorry.
And Satici has to pit as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So they'll be
they're
5th
quite
and
in range of
6th for Ingram. But yeah, and then Lucas not going to pick up many points from this at all. So Phoenix are really going to stretch away here, you'd imagine, as things stand.
Yeah, I think, and also worth noting as well is that Taylor is actually dropping Satici behind him. Satici is running out of tyres now. Obviously, I'd expect him to pit at the end of this lap. Their pit window really is lap 30 to lap 33, I would say, for the soft-tired runners now for their second stop. But
yeah, somewhere around that.
Even so, like I wouldn't expect him to be losing time to Taylor there in the Phoenix. So I don't know. It looks like the mediums or the hards. More stops is definitely not the way to go here. It's been impossible to come through the field.
I wonder how different things would have been had Satici been able to clear Ruiz at the start, because we've seen from those that have been in clear air, the soft tyre has a considerable amount of pace here, and I wonder if it would have been the case that he just have been able to clear off into the distance. Alternatively, what would have happened if we'd have seen a hard runner right at the front? Surely they'd have been absolutely nailed on.
Well, yeah, it must have been just a shoe-in for the victory, but that depends on sort of if they were able to keep drivers behind early doors, but
absolutely,
coulda, shoulda, woulda. Unfortunately, there we go. In goes Satici, in goes Powers. So they are going to make their second stops now. Let's see where they come out. Satici with a decent stop. Almost being held.
They've got a good chunk of time to Matson, but then everyone is stacked up behind Matson. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out behind Finn Schneider here, to be honest. Yeah, Matson's through. Vasquez, Giordano, Schneider will follow, and indeed Satici rejoined in P9. Nathaniel Powers in 10th, and despite the fresh soft tyres, I struggle to see either of them really making any progress here.
Yeah, it's going to be a case of strike while the iron is hot. They're going to have to make their way through quickly. It's only going to be made harder by the fact that there's a train of cars here trying to get past Matson.
I was going to say, it's lining up here, isn't it? I think someone needs to give Matson a whistle and a funnel at this point.
Oh yeah, because it's a train.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what that would take.
Give him some coal. Make him put it in the coal hole.
There you go. He can shove it into the air scoop.
Oh,
Satici looks down the inside of Finn Schneider. He's obviously fed up with looking at the rear wing of that AMR. He spent most of the first stint doing it. Well, second stint. And clearly doesn't want to again, but unable to get that move done. And Schneider gets a snap though, and Satici is going to do what Taylor did on Giordano, surely, and he does. Schneider's going to try and come back at him, but surely Satici will have the traction, and he does, and Satici goes through. We've seen an overtake.
That was an incredible drive out of that corner there, going all the way up the hill.
I mean, he is on fresh soft tyres, you'd hope so.
Yeah, even still, we've seen some drivers really kick the rear out there under throttle at that section. So some great car control from the Italian. He seems to be coming alive this stint. Let's see what he can do next. Giordano next in line for 7th place.
Yeah, Matteo Satici then has just given us a little sliver of hope that this might not be a procession right to the end. We'll see how things shake out. Nathaniel Powers as well behind him. Satici looks to the inside. Powers looks to the inside of Schneider. Neither of them can get the move done there, but we know that's not really an overtaking position. Place. Thing.
Spot.
Oh. Again, Zatici sticks his nose up the inside of Giordano. Powers has done it on Schneider though. Powers a lot more alongside, but nope, still can't get it done. Schneider wide on the exit, but Wiggles on the exit, sorry. And
just wonder, it's going to be very easy to quickly use up their tyres, so...
Oh, Zatici's wide and he's got the back end out and he just catches it.
Joel was amazing there. It almost seemed like he actually managed to keep that pointing in the straight line by applying some throttle there. It's easy to see, especially with younger drivers, just slam on the brakes, put on some like a bit of opposite lock and go for the hope for the best. But Zatici seemed to just sort of dance that one out of the spin.
Yeah, beautiful car control from the Italian. There's behind him Nathaniel Powers on the grass on the exit there, trying to get past from Schneider, but nothing doing. And
big side of this moment.
Yeah, very much. They head on to start another lap then, and this is going to be a painful stint for them, isn't it? As up ahead, Zatici's looking up the inside of his countryman once again, but it's just not going to work in turn one, mate. Come on.
No, got to try a little bit better options. Maybe obviously that as they come down here to turn 2 or 3. I think it's turn 3. I call it turn 3. But again, no dice for the Brit that we ride on board with. He's going to have to try something. He's going to have to pull off one of those moves around that fast right-hander. I think this one down the hill. Not like that.
It absolutely is. Thunstrom and Alvarez dive in then. So they will rejoin firmly at the back. As Zatici wide again, trying something different, as we've seen a few times, to get past Giordano, but it's not happening. Schneider and Powers now right with this train of cars. Zatici's wide again, he's got the back end out, but once again he just holds it, and it's yeah. I wonder if we're seeing here it's just very slippery offline.
Yeah, it may be that. It may also be that it is a little warm today, I believe. Not too much warmer than normal, but
I can check the temperature if you give me 20 seconds.
Do it. But you know, that combined with what is essentially a relatively unraced circuit. You know, we've never come here before. No series really regularly comes here besides maybe MotoGP, I believe.
Yeah, which, let's be fair, aren't going to put down a massive racing line of rubber, are they?
Exactly. So, you know, it's still a very green track. Do you remember sort of Korea for F1 in Yongam?
Yep.
Where that was a great racetrack, but it was just never used. It was always just so dusty, never had any real grip. Because we've got Zatici up the inside, those are going to make it stick. He's still there up the inside, sends the outside for turn 4. No dice as Giordano holds off his younger compatriot and holds on to 7th place.
Yeah, but, absolutely. It's about 21 degrees here today. Zatici up the inside again of Giordano. No, it's not actually that warm. Tries to keep nose up the inside, but it's just not happening. Behind him, Schneider's slightly wide. Is that going to give Powers a look around the outside? It's not quite. Nope.
It's like the car just, as you say, just runs out of grip offline. It's again same mistake. 3 laps in a row from the Italian now. I'm just wondering if maybe he's nursing something on that car that's just causing the rear end to get floaty at like sort of low to medium speed.
Yeah, something's going on, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be battling floor damage maybe. I think we saw him all over the curb or the grass at one point.
So, we did. Yeah, I think that was overtaking Schneider, wasn't it, actually?
Yes, yeah, it was. As we've got a yellow flag. That looks to be Mayer.
Oh, Hunter Ryan, I think he's just lost. Yeah, Hunter Ryan's dropping down the order.
Oh, hang on.
That was someone in the gravel, wasn't
Hunter Ryan's lost a front wing, but Mayer's also dropped back hugely, as has Thunstrom, I think, again. So I wonder if Thunstrom's been involved in... He can't have been in the wars again, surely.
I mean, he could have been. As we have a yellow flag again. Zylander just dropped out behind... No, Clean's... No, he's taking the place back. Clean's dropping down.
Out.
Yeah, Clean's dropping down the... Oh, crikey, we've got the wall. They're dropping like flies. Mayer's out then.
Blowout. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Max Mayer out of the race.
Yeah.
Stefan Klein comes to a very gradual stop on the hill. He's going to have to... That's Thunstrom without a rear wing.
Oh, he needs one of those.
He's definitely had contact somewhere.
But, yeah, Klein, I think...
Ryan in the pits as well.
Yeah. Klein trying to, I think, just make it to the top of the hill there, just so he wouldn't be rolling back. But now he's got to sort of sit on the brake with a smoking engine in the rear. But yeah, another Ford power unit, or and he goes round.
Oh.
So TT's been looking like he's going to do it, and he finally does, and he's in the wall. Oh, a bad day goes to worse for the Italian as
I think
he
he's
holds
got
on
away
to his
with
front
it.
wing. We'll see.
Well,
Ryan,
he's
let's
still
see
got
what
a front wing
happened
at
here.
least. Yeah, here we go. So this is
Same
the replay
mistake.
of Hunter Ryan. Yeah, it was indeed.
Different corner actually.
Was it? Oh, we were so lucky not to collect Simon there.
Same corner.
Whoops. Yeah, I think that is the same corner, isn't it?
That was yeah, let's see what happened to Thunstrom then.
Yep, so this is behind Takahashi. Thunstrom,
Just
gets
lost
wide
it.
and on the curb. And that
then,
spits him
runs
round.
out of
And then,
talent.
yes. Yes. That's, I mean, he wasn't going to pick anything up anyway. Mayer's car looks as though it's just died on him.
Sounds like a hydraulic failure. He just lost all drive really there. It's just, and you can see how he's had to really work that car to get it off the track.
Yeah,
now here
and,
comes Atici.
Yep, on board with the Italian.
Yeah,
And again,
same corner,
exactly the same as Ryan, wasn't it? And in fact, he followed his wheel tracks through the grass. Unbelievable. But yeah, it does look like Satici's got away without a pit stop then. He's still in 10th position.
Yeah, and you know, as he keeps it together, he'll finish them. I didn't want to say that, but just when I saw the yellow flag pop, I was like, I'm sorry, it wasn't me.
Who's Klaas? It's Klaas van Schnelwijk, the championship leader. Look at the time he's hemorrhaging to Taylor.
Yeah.
It is Klaas van Schnelwijk, the championship leader, and that is a big fire then for the downturn at the side of the track. Klaas van Schnelwijk is out of this race, and his car and the championship lead go up in flames.
Yeah, so here we go then. He's just coming around turn, I think it's the middle sector here, and just bursts into flame. And he doesn't even seem to realise. I guess you'll have the team on the radio here. You can hear the engines now fully stop giving him any power. And he's very... I know there's trying to preserve your championship lead and trying to keep the car going, but you have to get out of the car when it's looking like that.
I suppose there's a little bit of what's it, isn't there? When there's a little bit of fire, it's a kind of, can I go quickly enough that it's going to put it out? And I wonder if he maybe just tried that for a bit until realising, actually, do you know what? No, this is just going to take hold, and I need to jump ship.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be more of a desperation thing. I think when you're piling, you know, yes, you can try and put it out, but also you have to remember when you're driving like that, you have sort of the fuel source and the heat source inside the car, and then you're just feeding it oxygen from outside the car. So it's really just a recipe for making that fire a lot worse. So just get it stopped, get out and get clear.
So I was just to say that's a disaster then for Klaas van Schnelwijk, who was the championship leader before that moment. Was actually, in fairness, I think he's 13 points ahead. Yeah, he is. So was on course to lose that anyway, because he'd have lost 13 points to Ruiz by finishing 4th. Was also on course, obviously, anyway, to end his record run of podium finishes. But yeah, as a result, he's not even going to pick up a 4th place now. Klaas van Schnelwijk will score nothing from the Czech Republic V-Prix, which doesn't appear to have been too kind to Downton so far. Just Atici running now in 9th.
Yeah, obviously Atici there, looking strong early doors in this final stint, but his own impatience and his own inconsistency getting the better. I suppose consistency really. He did the same thing like 4 laps in a row.
Yeah, his bad consistency.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not consistency that you want.
No.
I'll tell you who this does put into a decent spot though. North Star now looking like they could score a point if they can hold off Perez, as Powers goes up the inside but can't quite find the opening.
I mean, if you're going to point out North Star getting a point, can we just highlight Finn Schneider in 7th?
Yeah, with the 6 points there coming in for Amr. That's a good effort there from the Swiss. Obviously, Finn Schneider himself, a very good, very capable driver. And it's nice to see him, you know, do what he does best in a machine that's semi-capable of points.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, you know, keeping pace with the Ocelot and the Ingram ahead of him, but in fairness, their pace is being very hampered by Matsson's hard tyres. Matsson's 40 seconds behind the car in front of him.
You've got to wonder if Phoenix are going to back off here, or if they're going to try and pressure Ruiz for the win.
I mean, yeah, no.
I don't know. Kanga's catching Ruiz.
Oh, yeah, he has just gained 3/10 on him, hasn't he? And lost it again. As Maximilian Thunstrom sets. Oh no! That's McLaughlin! Alexander McLaughlin from 12th place then, who'd, gained, although stopped smoking. Oh no.
Oh, I think he's only on throttle there, Bradley. So
very on and off, isn't it? Yeah.
Could be a gasket leak there. That's white smoke, so that's water being burnt up with the fuel, and that's going to be the end of his race. You can't make 3 laps.
When engines go like this, we've seen them last a few laps. I wonder if McLaughlin can just eat this to the end.
If he makes it to the end, I will eat glass. I fully believe that's already puffing a lot of white smoke out behind it. Don't forget, the whole time it's going to be losing power, and it's going to be the cooling system's going to be hemorrhaging. All of it, because when this happens, you lose compression. Obviously, the water from the cooling system ends up mixed in with the oil and the fuel, so the lubrication as well is all messed up, and you end up sort of not really being able to lubricate the parts from the engine properly. It's a recipe for a bang, is what that is there, Bradley. And I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like McLaughlin's not going to give up. I should imagine the team will probably just be telling him to run it until it goes pop, because what have they got to lose, really?
True, yeah.
So yeah, but that's a huge shame for McLaughlin. He's had a slightly anonymous race, to be fair, but has ended up ahead of his teammate as a result, admittedly, of the strategy. But it's not been a bad debut weekend. He hasn't disgraced himself.
He never wets himself.
That is not what I meant.
You said disgraced himself. I just thought
that is.
He has driven very well.
What I meant.
As yeah, Kanga, I think. No, it doesn't have like proper pace. He maybe is slightly faster than Ruiz, but Ruiz is just in cruise mode. Let's
hand this to Phoenix though. Downton and Mathershaw have looked fairly comfortably clear all season. You know, I think that's fair to say. That's another. Oh no, sorry, that's
Zylander.
Oh no! Both high winds then within a couple of laps of one. Yeah, McLaughlin's already parked it. And now the other Zylander, the other high wind is taking up the smoking. Who's that? That's another car going slowly. Oh, that's Zylander. Sorry, that's Zylander. His car, that lasted a lot less time than his teammates, didn't it?
I do wonder if maybe they just decided where they couldn't make it to like a whole lap with McLaughlin. Oh, who's that? Who's that?
That's someone in the.
It's
Titici! Matteo's and a rear wing. Matteo's in the wall yet again. Then. From what was now 9th position, also ahead of him, Powers has done Schneider.
How is he getting that? I know that the downforce has been sort of more reliant on the floor lately, but how he's going to get that back, I've never seen a car without either wing. How's he done that?
Well, I'm sure we'll see. We've only got 2 laps to go here. What I was just going to say, before everyone started to spontaneously combust, Phoenix, exceptional job. Downton and Mathershaw have been clear all season. Kanga's only 2.5 seconds behind Ruiz after an entire race distance on the same compound of tyre.
That is amazing, especially considering the performance as well in the last race. Something to behold.
Ruiz probably hasn't been pushing as hard as he could have done. He's not really had any competition, to be fair, but. That's still a stellar effort, and Taylor as well, only 7 seconds back, and a lot of that he lost by running slightly longer in the first stint.
Oh, that's Giordano.
Another engine
from 6th place.
What is that? That's absolutely barbecuing Nathaniel Powers at the moment. Thankfully, eventually both him and Schneider are able to get past the smoking, flaming Alfa Romeo engine. As Giordano retires from 6th then. And what's that? That's like 6 engines in 4 laps.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, you know, the guys at Ocelot would have been nervous when they saw their fellow Alfa Romeo runners there. Who else we got running? Oh, I thought there was someone else dropping down the order. But yeah, they would have been nervous when they saw that Alfa Romeo engine start to go bang, and sure enough, it's happened to theirs.
Christ, yes, 6 of the engine failures have been, 3 of them have been Alfa Romeos. Because here we see the replay on board with Titici, then it's the same error, wide again. And as he just managed
he doesn't get away with it.
No,
he managed to come on both wings.
He made up for getting away with it last time by taking off both wings this time round.
I respect the hustle, if I'm honest. Like, you know, fair play.
But Yeah, I
there's
mean,
Ruiz then, our winner
we don't do things by halves at Downton, do we? When we have a bad race, we really have a bad race.
We might still beat Thunderstrong.
But that's come to the absolute. I mean, I can't think of the words I'm going to say, but it'll be a joy for Enrique Ruiz then, who has seen all of his nearest rivals really fall off the road. And his teammate was never even close. But it's Ruiz who rounds the final corner and wins the first ever race in the Czech Republic. Alar Kanga takes second place and only 2.5 seconds back. A stellar job from the Estonian. Will Taylor does indeed make it a double podium, the first in their history for Phoenix. That's an outstanding effort from the Minnow team from Manchester. Sean Matson is going to take fourth with a fantastic tyre strategy call, but he's so far back. Matson's got nearly half the lap still to go.
Yeah, and he's looking very comfortable there. He has a nice line set up. He's not under any real pressure from his teammate, who's been acting well as a rear gunner as well for Powers. Well, against Powers behind. Here they come around the final corner now. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. Matson will take fourth position. Then it's a solid race for Ingram. They look as though they've dropped off the pace, but fourth and fifth will be much needed. Powers does salvage sixth. He got past Schneider late on. Schneider seventh for AMR. That's brilliant at crucial points. I think that vaults them up the championship actually. Yeah. Oh yeah. Zazolia's 10th. After all that late drama, Alverson, Perez and Zazolia pick up points.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's what a race. And I mean, to be honest, what a way for Ruiz to cap off his team owner's announcement recently there. That feels fitting.
It does. Simon couldn't quite make the points, but I don't think 12th is. I was going to say I don't think 12th is terrible from back in grid, and then I've just looked at the cars he's beaten. Yeah, that's not great. But it's Ruiz then who heads back to the pits to start the celebrations and the podium.
Here come the drivers out onto the podium then. In third place for Phoenix Motorsport, his second career rostrum, Will Taylor. In second place, also for Phoenix Motorsport, and marking the team's first ever double podium finish, Alar Kanga. And onto the top step then, for the fourth time in 5 races, Enrique Ruiz. And in his honour, the Brazilian national anthem. So there we have it then. Enrique Ruiz wins the first ever race in the Czech Republic. He was kept honest by Alar Kanga, but the Estonian was never really a threat. And Will Taylor completing Phoenix's first ever double podium finish. Strong result for Ingram as well in 4th and 5th. Powers picking up points for Lucas in 6th, but crucially AMR got big points, as did North Star and First. And that's important in the Constructors' Championship. Finn Schneider, shout out to him with his best result and AMR's best result of the season. Adrian Simon could only recover to 12th from the back of the grid, and a lot of engine failures in the back end of the race The Downtons most notably with issues, and that is very important for the championships. Maximilian Thunstrom set the fastest lap, but in the drivers, well, Ruiz now tops the table then. He is gone to the head of the field and is 12 points clear of Klaas van Schneiden in one race. That swung around quite dramatically. Alar Kanga is up to 5th. John Matson's gained ground as well with that brilliant 4th place thanks to that hard-tied strategy. Finn Schneider up to 15th. Johan Halverson is also up 4 places in the 17th position. Nick Addison's gained position as well. He's still yet to score that elusive point, but is now the lead driver in the championship without one. And obviously Alexander McLaughlin, who makes his way onto the championship table for the first time. And in the constructors, we've seen a change of lead in that as well. Matthew Porsche have gone from 2 points behind to 23 ahead of Downton, who now slipped to 2nd for the first time since early 2020. Ingram are up to 4th ahead of Lucas, while North Star and AMR have both gained 2 spots respectively, and that means that first drop into pre-qualifying for the next round. But that's all from our race here today in the Czech Republic. So from me and Harry, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 9 from Istanbul, Turkey.